What I've seen is a lot of people that actually go to live by themselves. They develop their internal state in a very good way, and also they tend to just explode in terms of how they're behaving on their work, especially when it's people working around businesses. So what happens is, because you have a lot of time by yourself, you actually get to understand yourself way better, and you end up thinking about the meaning of life and how things are in terms of your business operations. It just allows you to also develop um, a way to improve everything and keep evaluating your circumstances to just make them better over time. So essentially, having time free for yourself allows you to develop your career and also develop yourself as a person and how much you know about yourself. Because we think we know ourselves, but the truth is, we really don't know ourselves that much. We are probably the person that know us better, but we still don't know too much about ourselves. And a easy way to actually understand this is to ask ourselves some questions. For example, there's people that they don't know what they're aiming for in life. They seem to not have a purpose. They also may looking out for someone to be on a relationship, but they don't really know or they're not aware of what type of person they're looking for. So if you can't define essentially the most basic stuff you should have defined in your life, such as your life goals, your personal achievements that you want to fulfill, and the people that you want around you. If you can't answer these questions, it's because you really don't know yourself too well to understand this. Because if you really understood who you are to the fullest, you would be capable of answering any questions about what you want in life and the people you want around you. So I was watching a person that made a study, and essentially what the study was showing is when people actually go live by themselves, the first reaction most people have is they tend to feel a bit more lonely sometimes. But as they get used to this situation, they actually start to develop themselves internally, and they also produce another type of chemicals in their body that just makes them operate better as a human being. So they start to synthesize a lot of things that are attached to our own capacities, such as you have more energy for your daily activities. You also have a better immune system because you tend to, by having time for yourself, thinking and developing yourself, makes yourself in a better psychological state, and that boosts your immune system, boosts pretty much everything, your health as well, how you sleep, your quality of life. Everything improves naturally because you're setting some time to actually evaluate how you are, how you feel. There's a lot of time in our lives for us to do this. But the truth is, if we have a family environment, if we're living with more people, a lot of people never have time to actually sit down with themselves and ask themselves how they feel, what do they want in life, what they want to achieve, what type of persons they want around them. These questions, again, it's something that everyone should be able to answer. Because if you don't define these things, essentially you can have a life around a lot of things or people that maybe they're not even adding anything to you. Maybe you're not having any positive thing out of a relationship you're having with some people, or something that you may be doing throughout your life is just not providing anything positive for you. So if you don't think about these things and don't evaluate them, you're never going to change those, right? So essentially, you're just wasting time in your life doing things that don't really provide you to go anywhere. It's really important for you to establish what you want to do and your priorities. Because as you are aware of where you want to go in life, what you want to achieve, then it's easy to, in any situation that may come up, you can ask yourself, is this thing actually allowing me to go in the direction that I want to go? If the answer is no, maybe you shouldn't do that, right? Unless that provides you some type of satisfaction, happiness that actually allows you to be on a better psychological state of mind. And that can ultimately allows you to keep going in your way and motivate you. But if that's not the case, maybe it's something that you don't have to have in your life. And again, you can only answer these things after you set the goals defined in your mind, because everyone should have their own goals. This is about what we want and who we are. So it's not like I'm going to tell anyone my goals and people just follow what I supposed to be going after. Because what makes me happy and fulfilled may not be the same for other people. So essentially, each person should build the life they want and the life of their dreams by themselves, because everyone is different. So you can have a lot of people loving their lives, and you go and look, and everyone has a different life in their own. They could have similar routines, they could have some similar activities. Probably you can see that people that are happy, you see that everyone sleeps well, everyone has a good psychological state, everyone tends to eat the best food possible and be careful with what they eat, because they do know this sets the mood for themselves. This improves their own healthy state and life overall. Because if you are healthy, you can just live a better life. So they also do workout. A lot of people do workout because this helps on psychological mental level as well, and also allows you to have a better mood, just gives you positive um, biochemicals to your body, which allows you to feel better and happier. So again, there's things that may be common, but then there's things that are completely different. For example, the type of physical activity that I'm doing may not be the case for the other people that are doing just different things. But what matters is that you do some workouts. At least for people, that seems that doing workout has a positive feedback in themselves. But most people will tell you that it is, even if the beginning is painful and you may not enjoy the beginning. Because I can tell you, for example, I didn't used to like to run at all. And even today, I don't run much. But if I feel like running, I can go run, and I enjoy today because I was training, and on some training sessions, I was running actually to get more stamina. And I never enjoyed it to the point that I start to enjoy. It's funny because if you keep doing something that you don't like, but you do know it's good for you, at some point the thing actually flips and you start to like it. It's funny. But yeah, like workout is something that if people are not used to, it could be hard and painful in a way. But I can tell you that the hardest thing is actually in your mind, is not the exercise itself. Usually people gave up because people are thinking how hard it will be to accomplish one session. They don't give up when they're already doing the work. They don't stop to do the work and go away. They just keep going there. So actually, what helps in the beginning is that you don't think about the task itself that you're going to do. You just do it and that's it. Because this way, actually, the thing itself gets easier. Because the hard part is what you are imagining in your mind, is not you doing the work itself. And a lot of times in our lives, this happens. Like the most difficult times we have in our lives are usually not the tasks that we have to do, but ourselves thinking about the tasks and how much we didn't want to do those tasks. That's the hard part. So it's all about the psychological frame that you're getting in yourself. Instead of thinking that way, you could just go and do the tasks as fast as possible. Because the faster you do them, the less you think about how hard the tasks could be. And eventually you get to a state in which the tasks are actually easy to be done. You know, when I start to do a lot of activities, for example, even making videos, in the beginning it was painful to think, well, what could I go to say eventually on any video? And just the idea of thinking about what I needed to say or wanted to say, it was painful because in my mind I was just making the whole thing way harder than what it had to be. So now I don't really think too much. I just go and do it. And most people that have work to do, it's the same thing. If you don't think about the work and you just start to do it, it becomes way easier. So again, you learn to make your life actually easier by evaluating everything and getting to understand what part is actually making the task itself difficult and what part is actually making the things become more simple. So again, all these things that people usually don't even think about just makes your life way more simple. You can simplify pretty much everything. And then you just walk through life in a easy mode. You're just doing everything like everyone else may be doing, but psychologically feels way easier for you than what it feels for most people. So the actual big hard task that we have tends to be in our minds. It's not the task itself. So as long as we understand this, we can actually shift the way we are thinking about the things or just immediately go to do the things we have to do instead of sitting like for 20 minutes and thinking about the things we have to do in 20 minutes.